Hello.
I'm muted! Everybody's muted!
Oh shit.
Panic! Only you could hear me! It's okay. The internet doesn't matter. You don't need to know what I just said, internet. It's fine. I guess.
Hello, internet.
So, hello everybody. It is time for DEVSOLUTELY show. I'm obviously not amazing at starting things up. I tried, sort of. Um, this is our lovely guest. We only have half of the people because the other person just woke up. So, do you
He's
want to
working on
pretend to be both of
it.
you?
I can do that. Yeah.
I should actually probably fix the guest name spot so that it just has you. This is the Jess half, by the way, everyone. Sorry. I'm so good at this. Don't get to have your Twitter handle on things if you don't show up. That's how it works. There. Perfect. I'm excited. So
Cool.
for everybody on the internet, I'm very pleased to have Jess here because we met months ago, years ago, in fact,
Yep.
at a PAX, because I think the main reason we met was actually because we had the same person make our trailers.
Yep.
That was like the primary reason for like really meeting, aside from also being indie devs, you know, because that's what we do, right? So, do you want to like kind of just, I don't know, say something about like how life is going and
Pretty good. I mean, uh,
cats attacking things?
um,
Stop!
so
My
I mean,
cat.
we're super busy, like, um, like professionally on that front, working on the PlayStation version of Jazzpunk. So we're excited about that. That's coming out soon.
Oh yeah.
Um, and then on the personal front, check this out.
Oh my gosh, you have an alien!
Yeah, totally.
Oh no way!
Yep.
Wow,
So very excited.
that looks
This is
like.
my little girl
Oh wow.
coming in July.
Oh, congratulations!
Oh, thank you.
Wow, I feel like I must be reaching that point in like game dev slash age where I just
Yeah.
everybody around me is having children.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, what's happening? That is awesome though. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Um,
Yeah, it should be interesting.
yeah, yeah.
Slightly, completely terrified,
Right, yeah.
but it should be good.
I talked to Joe a couple of weeks ago. Joe Mirabello, who made Tower of Guns.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he has an 11-week-old, probably
Oh.
more weeks now. So like, there's lots
Yeah.
of little babies, and he
Yeah.
said so far the neatest thing is kind of watching this human like if, develop stuff. It's kind of like watching
Yeah.
a computer boot up really slowly.
Yeah. 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 Totally.
Which I thought was
Totally.
cool. So you get to experience that soon. That's awesome.
Yeah, I have a friend who has a baby, and we're hanging out with them, and the thing that like it just sort of never occurred to me because babies aren't really haven't been a part of my life at all, like for the
Right.
last 30 whatever years, um, and just like she would like touch my beard, and it's like the look on her face, like the feeling of like the texture of beard is like an amazing experience, you know what I mean?
Can
So,
you imagine
or
never
like,
having
the
touched a beard before?
yeah, yeah, or just like the color yellow like is tripping me out and stuff like that. Just
Yeah.
these little things that you kind of forget how amazing they are.
I've had one experience like that I can recall from my childhood, which was the first time I touched a pig.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it
Interesting.
blew my mind
Interesting.
because like
Uh,
I
was
thought
it
pigs
the
like they didn't
was
have
it the hair or
yeah
was it the
yeah it was
skin itself?
the hair. It was like
Yeah. Okay.
sparse and
Yeah.
scritchy and like
Interesting.
I thought it was gonna be kind of smooth and it was not. It was
Yeah,
horrible.
okay.
I didn't like it at all. That's probably why I remember it. It was like, oh, I don't
Interesting.
want to touch a pig again.
Yeah. Was that on like a farm or
It
like
must have
like a
been
just
like a
some?
kindergarten outing or something.
Okay.
I don't quite know, but I was pretty young. I couldn't have been more
Okay.
than 5. I don't. think.
Yeah.
Why am I talking to a werewolf? You're not a werewolf, are you? I guess, okay, full disclosure, are you any type of mythical creature or blend thereof?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
But it might be one of those, I think they kind of forget, the werewolves, right? Because they kind of like pass out or whatever when they transform. I could be wrong. When they do the
Remember?
transition,
Do you
and then they
not know
wake
that
up,
you're a
they
werewolf?
well, it's sort of implied, I think, like you wake up in a ditch somewhere and your clothes are all ripped up or whatever, having transformed, and that you might find like fragments of, like tufts of hair or something, in a path of rampage. But that could just be,
Maybe
any number of things.
Yeah, you could have just gone out and drank too much and you don't even
Yeah,
remember,
exactly.
Like, oh man, I must be a raging alcoholic. What is this?
Totally. Oh, check this out. Let me see if I can get this going.
I see a super bright window. Oh,
Yeah,
you're like
sorry about
an
that.
outline. What are we checking out?
Just a second here.
Oh, I'm curious. What is he? Oh,
Yeah.
Are you walking right now?
I'm walking on my tread desk.
Standing desk for the win. All right, we have a treadmill too. We generally don't use
really?
it because
Oh yeah.
because you've got this little motion, and it's hard to get used to everything.
Yeah. I'm just gonna pause it because I don't know. It kind of.
You can walk while we talk. That's cool. Get your exercise in. I don't know. I'll bounce up and down slowly to make you feel like we're walking together.
Yeah,
We can
maybe do some jumping jacks.
we'll take a virtual stroll together.
Yeah, like an exercise / dev / internet.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Thing.
Yeah, you need to put on one of those like 80s leotards and leg warmers though.
Okay.
And some tights, and then I think
right.
we could pull that
Like
off.
flash dance or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. My mother actually had a leotard that had like an entire, like the whole thing was like the face of a tiger. You need one of those.
Nice.
That'd be pretty hot. It'd be good. Anyhow, enough about that weirdness. I don't know why that happened.
Yeah, it happens.
It does, yes. Yeah. I don't think I'm a werewolf. I don't drink, so I'm pretty sure I would just think I was crazy if that happened.
Yeah.
But I have to admit, like, there are occasionally times where I am concerned that I'm crazy and that Calvin, my significant other, it doesn't even exist. And my whole family is just, it's just like, yes, she's crazy, but if we correct her, she'll like have a mental breakdown or something.
Yeah, sort of like what's his name? Tyler Durden thing, Fight Club.
Yeah, a lot like that, right?
Huge spoiler. Whoops.
I think I have enough evidence actually that I can tell that he does exist, but there's still those little moments of like reality check of like, wait, am I crazy?
Right. Yeah.
Because
well, I did hear him in the background, I think, at one point. So
no, he is here.
Some evidence.
You're not talking to a crazy person unless I don't know it.
Also, I did meet him personally, so maybe it's me who is the crazy person.
No, you're talking to nobody right now. You're
people.
Like in a padded room.
Could be.
You look around, kind of like, is this real? I don't know.
Well,
I see a Jazzpunk
it looks real,
sign.
but those VR headsets are getting pretty good though. So
that's
you never
true.
know.
It could be fake.
Yep.
I see a Jazzpunk sign over your door over there. What's that from?
That was from the first time that we showed. That was PAX Prime, like 2013 or something. The first time that we showed Jazzpunk like publicly in a sort of real, legit kind of way.
Legit, huh?
Yeah.
That's a cool sign. Were you part of like the PAX 10 or whatever it's called?
No, it
Or
was
did you?
Adult Swim's.
Oh yeah.
I think it was the first time that they were showing games
Oh yeah.
at PAX,
That's
and so it was like it was pretty. It was a pretty like kind of ghetto setup as a result. Like now they've got like serious, um, you know, like signage and
they know
their
what they're
display.
doing now.
Yeah, it's very very publishery or whatever. But that one was very. We looked very indie. I'll just use that word.
That works.
Like this was pretty much the extent of our display is
Oh,
this sign
really?
here. Yeah.
Oh man, that's nothing compared to what I saw at PAX when you guys were doing it alone. You had like cereal boxes.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah.
I was so impressed by those cereal boxes. I was like,
Yeah.
man, I want some cereal boxes.
Yeah. People stole our fucking cereal boxes though. That was the only problem, and it kind of bummed me out a bit because I wanted all the cereal for myself.
There wasn't any actual cereal inside them, was there? They were just
No.
empty boxes. Yeah. Although,
But at home I can just fill them up with my own
that's
like
right. Like
you know,
your own custom mix of
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Captain
yeah,
Crunch
custom
and
blend.
Apple Jacks or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever is Jazzpunk to you. If Jazzpunk had a cereal, what would it be? Like, what would you
Well,
actually?
I mean, beside Comrade Crunch, because it kind of does have a cereal in a way. But in terms of like what would actually be in the actual cereal itself,
yeah.
is,
So I'm assuming you
uh,
thought about this.
yeah. I mean, definitely there would be mixed like electrical components, capacitors, resistors, transistors, just so that you get your daily dose of like, I don't know, radon and germanium and all of those like micronutrients that
yeah.
people often forget that the human body actually requires.
So Tom
If you-
Finch is saying it would just be a bowl of cigarettes.
Delicious.
Mm-hmm. Delicious cigarettes. Oh man.
Yep. Part of a balanced diet, the balance being you got to balance the good, the healthy with the unhealthy.
And the edible with the inedible.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, lovely. That's funny. Actually, to give everyone a little bit of reference, because I keep forgetting that there are actually other people watching us right
All right.
now. Do you want to talk a little bit about what Jazzpunk actually is? Like just for a moment?
Sure.
Or
Yeah.
yelling at people because they don't know what it is? Shame on you people.
So Jazzpunk is a retro futuristic adventure comedy spyberpunk
Cyberpunk?
romp is how I usually describe it. It's kind of hard to describe it, so that's what I got. The best thing is to check it out. Look it up. It's a good game.
Yeah.
Or buy it on PS4 when that comes out.
Yeah, that sounds so. Now, my question that immediately came to mind when you were telling me that you were working on porting it. How long has the Jazzpunk actually been out for? That's the first part of the question.
It's been out for like a year and a half or something. It's been a while,
Yeah.
but we're adding a bunch of new content. So this is like the special edition premium thing. So if you've played it before, you'll definitely get some
bonus.
some new nutrients out of it.
New nutrients. I like that. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So, because that was kind of my thought was that seems like a long time to try to port something. What did you make it in? Because it's not a custom engine, is it?
No, it's Unity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that was the
You
only
guys
thing
are
that I was
using
thinking.
Unity for most of your stuff too, right?
Yeah, Unity is for people who aren't overly ambitious and want to make their own engines.
Yeah.
I mean, there's limitations in Unity and like stuff that's frustrating, but you get to start
But it's
making your
pretty damn
game
good.
right away, which is pretty nice.
Totally.
And it's pretty decent in and of itself.
Like the thing that we love about it that it allows us to do is prototype a lot and not feel bad about cutting stuff
That's true.
because you know, it only took a day or a week or whatever it is to prototype an idea and just get it out while the idea is fresh.
Yeah, you don't want any of those stale ideas. You know,
Yeah.
once they get a little moldy, they're just,
Yeah.
they don't go down so
Yeah,
smooth.
totally.
So one of the things that I feel has recently been happening, actually, and this super applies to you right now, is a lot of people have been complaining and saying that Unity games, like, they suffered dramatically when you port them over to anything other than PC stuff. They're like, frame rates crap and stuff like that. Have you been having any kind of issues as far as, like,
There's
balancing
it's
that?
definitely something that we have to like be aware of and, you know, work with. It's not like, so with the consoles, it's not like you're just exporting your project like you can do if you're working on a game, and you can export like a Windows version or a Mac version or whatever. Totally different totally different creature. I don't know if you guys have been doing any console work.
We keep looking at it and being like, oh, we
Yeah.
haven't actually, but yes,
Yeah.
we've been thinking about it quite a
Yeah,
bit.
it's pretty interesting. Like there's some really cool things about it, and then some things that are, you know, kind of a pain in the ass. Like, you know, you have to transfer, obviously, you build your game on the PC or whatever, and then you have to you know, transfer the file over onto the dev kit each build you do, so that, you know, there's more round trip time when you're testing something.
Yeah.
But then, you know, you have the benefit, at least, of you're targeting one system, right?
Right,
Like,
you
so you
don't
don't have to worry
have to
about like
support
we had
700 graphics cards kind of
yeah,
stuff.
and we had like when the PC version came out, we had like these really weird requests or demands, really, you know, people emailing us and being like, okay, my 1996 steering wheel peripheral does not work with Jazzpunk, and
Oh my
you need to fix this like immediately, because
Because I need to be able to steer my character
yeah,
in
exactly.
Jazzpunk.
So,
Although
you
that
know,
would be a
tend
great
not to get that kind of thing with with the console group. I think we'll see. Maybe some people out there will still be trying to use their 1996 PC steering wheel with their PS4.
Yes,
Those people probably do exist.
indeed. I wouldn't be too surprised. Everybody has crazy demands. It is our
Yeah,
job to just
yeah.
smile and nod and then ignore most of them. And that's what we do.
Totally.
Oh man. Yeah. No, the porting thing is something that I keep going back and forth with Legend
Yeah.
of Dungeon, because it's like, is it worth the effort? Because it is a lot of effort, and because it's
Yeah.
such a different thing, and in a lot of ways, I'm almost scared of doing it because they have to market it, and I don't know how to do that for consoles, and that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah, right. But that's multiplayer too, right? Or
Yeah, local.
like local. Yeah. So that's perfect for console.
Yeah.
Just saying. I recently played through Gauntlet. It
that
was
good.
yeah. So I've not been much of a gamer like the last however many years, but since getting a PS4 and, you know, getting into the development side of PS4, I've been playing more.
Oh, really?
Which is usually it's the worst. It's the opposite. Like this whatever version, Gauntlet Slayer Edition or something, I think it's called. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
I've played the newest Gauntlet. I don't know if
Yeah,
there's been any updates.
I think that's the new one.
Yeah.
It was free on PlayStation Plus.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and so You know, we had I had a friend over and my partner Aaron, and we just like literally played for 8 hours. Like we beat the game in one sitting.
Awesome, awesome. Which character did you play?
I think I was the like barbarian
Oh yeah,
slash
yeah,
Thor or whatever.
the one
Like
with the shield, or the
uh
other one. There's like two
the
kind of
the
melee ones.
yeah uh I can't remember. I think it was like a big sword. I get this mixed up with like Diablo. Like I don't know. It's the same formula, like right where you have
Yeah.
the warrior, and then the wizard or whatever,
Right, yeah, there's
the archer.
the archer, and then
Yeah.
there's another warrior kind of class
Yep.
as
Well,
well.
sometimes you get the Valkyrie.
Right.
Or, yeah, like a
Yeah.
male female version of the warrior.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's a good formula.
It is really fun. I thought when I played that game, I haven't beaten it actually. I'm terrible
Yeah.
at beating games. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I'll spend an hour with this.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Usually, I only spend 15 minutes. Like I like to just take a look at a game and sort of extract the nutrient. Like I'm kind of scanning them as a game developer mostly.
Yeah.
So I'm not
You don't get to invest
spending
yourself
time
in
like
it.
dying and reanimating and and doing it
Yeah.
over and over again. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you do get to experience a game in a very different way when you do get more involved with it. That's something that I've been catching myself with more and more is
Mhm.
like if you just dip your toes in, you really do
Yeah.
miss out a lot on stuff. But
Yep.
we're game devs, we don't have time for that stuff. Playing games.
Yeah, I mean,
Do you find that like you played a lot more games before you started making them?
oh, for sure, yeah.
I think that's a
Like
standard
back in the
thing.
day, yeah, back in the day, I played like ridiculous amount of games, and then I didn't play any games whatsoever for a while, and then now they've sort of found a place
Sneaking
in my
back.
life.
That's good.
They're not gonna like turn me back into my 13-year-old self again or whatever, where I'm like, just sitting around in my underwear, playing video games all day, but almost.
Almost. I put pants on. It's okay.
Yeah.
Oh man. Do you remember some of your childhood like favorite games?
Yeah, okay, um so console wise, I was big into like, NES and Nintendo, and then I dropped off.
Mm,
And I went entirely to PC for until this year. um
fair enough.
so like I was big into I don't know if did you ever play like Royal Rumble? This was or like like wrestling games on
Yeah.
Nintendo.
I've heard that those are some of the best wrestling games ever made. Are some of those really early ones?
Yeah, they're really fun and silly. Uh, um, and then like progressing like into the PC world, stuff like Space Quest. Space Quest was huge for me. And any Sierra or LucasArts kind of stuff, Day of the Tentacle,
Mm.
Maniac Mansion, and Grim Fandango
Oh.
was huge.
Yeah.
Actually, that is. I guess it was last month. That was free on PlayStation Plus. Like,
Woo, free games!
Yeah. yeah. But the interesting thing about that is that it has a developer commentary,
Oh, interesting.
like built into it. So like you'll walk around, and then this little thing will show up in the corner, and you can hit a button, and then you'll hear the developers talking, and it's pretty cool because like there's just like some little nuggets in there, like talking about how the footsteps here, like we're using like real-time reverb, and at the time that was like totally revolutionary, and like the sound guy had to fight tooth and nail to get that 5% of the processor cycles or whatever required to like make that happen, but he did, and it was awesome.
Yeah, go sound guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because back then the restrictions on like what you could or couldn't do were just massive because it was just
Totally.
computers were like antiques
Mm-hmm.
compared to what they are now because I don't know, maybe it was a while ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's oh, that's cool. So yeah, Grim Fandango, that's good stuff. That was
What about you? Like, what's your sort of main?
I got
influences
into
or-
I got into games in a weird sort of way. I didn't have a console until I was 15, and I got a used PlayStation
Okay.
with a TV because we didn't own a TV. Like that's the kind of house I grew up in. We did have computers, and like some of my, we had a C64, and I loved Paperboy.
Oh yeah.
Playing Paperboy was awesome. I was horrible at it.
Yeah.
But I was like 6 and it didn't matter.
Yeah.
It was like one of those kinds of things. Another one that really stands out was we had an Amiga something or other. I don't know the number attached to it, but it had the DuckTales game.
Ooh.
And it is a different DuckTales game than all the other DuckTales games.
Okay.
And it was amazing.
Oh really?
Yeah, it was totally different. It was like a...
I actually had the Nintendo version. DuckTales.
The DuckTales game for the Amiga was an incredibly different game. You had there was this like you had all these different locations, and each location was like a different mini game.
Yeah.
And to get to the mini games, you had to fly the airplane, like 2D style, across and like dodge things and land. And your whole goal was to like somehow make Scrooge McDuck more rich or something. Like there was even like scenes where he's like diving into his money pit and everything. It was awesome. Like the nephews had a lot of adventures that I liked. Like you had to take pictures of wild animals, which was like basically
pretty innovative. Like at that point in time.
Yeah. Like you had to wait for the animal to pop up and you take a picture. That kind of thing. And then there was one where you're like climbing up a wall, like trying to climb this mountain. And there's all these boulders and like bad guys. Because like the Beaglers, is that what they were called? The Brigglers? The bad guys from DuckTales, whoever they are. Those weird creature people. They're always like trying to get you to, I don't know. It was a good game. But I can't find it anywhere. Yeah.
DuckTales. Oh, who's that?
This is Hobbs. He was meowing a lot. He doesn't even like being held, but I pick him up when he meows because that's his punishment. Not really. It's my reward. Oh yeah, we have other people are going like DuckTales, woo! Starts a whole.
Awesome.
So, would you join my a cappella group that covers 80s cartoon theme songs? Would you be interested? But like we don't live anywhere near each other. We can do it.
Yep.
Do you have any other favorite 80s cartoons or 90s?
Oh, fuck. He-Man.
He-Man.
She-Ra.
Did you watch the Thundercats?
Thundercats. Gummy Bears. Cadillacs and Dinosaurs.
Oh.
Did you ever see that?
Yeah, that's the one where they're actually like in a car, right?
Yeah, like a Cadillac.
Like yeah, it's a Cadillac.
Yeah.
Time travel is involved, I think, or something. I can't remember why there were dinosaurs anymore.
And then shit, I can't remember the name of this one. There was this show, and it was like these giant, like monster thing. Okay, it was kind of like Transformers. These giant like.
Yeah.
Things, but they were like creatures rather than like robots, right?
Creatures.
And one had like a rib cage that would open up, and then the creature would grab like a human and then place it inside the rib cage, and it was like a jail cell.
That sounds traumatizing.
Yeah, it was. It was like it's stuck in my brain, and like I couldn't.
What is
I just had this memory of something, and I was like, did I make this up or something? And then I just found it a couple months ago. I just forget what the name is now.
I
But
don't know this. I like
yeah.
at first I was like, maybe he's thinking of Voltron, but that doesn't sound anything like Voltron.
No, it wasn't Voltron.
Holy cow. That really does sound traumatizing.
Yeah.
Were
I
there
don't know.
toys for it?
I didn't have any.
Mm.
I had a lot of Star Wars action figures.
Oh.
I was like, I was born the year Return of the Jedi came out, so it was like,
Oh.
it was like, you know, not an active thing when I was old enough to sort of play with that, but in the same way that, like, any kid that grows up now is just like, there's always something Star Wars happening, like just coming out. I guess maybe the Ewok movie. Did you ever see the Ewok movie? There's two of them.
No, I did see the Star Wars Christmas special though. That's like,
Oh shit!
I should get a badge for watching that whole thing because wow.
Yeah.
So bad.
Yeah. The most interesting part to me was the bit about Chewbacca's family. Do you remember that?
Oh, the Wookiee
Their
cooking
nuke-
show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best part.
That, and then the bit about the virtual reality. His dad like puts on a VR helmet,
That's the
and
box
then there's this
thing?
like woman that appears, and there's like sparkles and stuff like that. Does that ring a bell?
I remember there being like a stage in a box thing. Is that what you're talking about?
No. Okay.
Oh man.
Okay. Spoiler alert. Gonna say something about Star Wars Christmas Special 1978 or
Yes,
whatever.
because you need
If
to
you
warn
haven't
people.
seen it and you're going to see it, just plug your ears right now. So Wookiee has VR sex with a human woman, and it's all like sparkly and very
Christmassy.
bizarre. Yeah, kind of Christmassy. But he just plops down in his lazy boy chair and puts on a VR set, and like does his thing.
I don't remember that. Apparently, Calvin is saying I watched the Ewok movies and he's given up on me because I don't remember them. Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
no.
watched one of them. I guess about a year ago, and the other one I haven't seen in like 20 years or whatever. So that should be interesting.
She'll watch it again.
Yeah.
Oh man, whew. That Christmas special was so bad. It was like phenomenally bad.
Yeah, I feel like it was just like Lucas was doing a lot of drugs at the time, and like it is what it is. Like they didn't really have a script. They just kind of
Like, just go. It's Christmas.
Yeah, it's like they had a ridiculous amount of props and costumes, from
Yeah.
I guess the first movie and stuff that was being constructed for Empire Strikes Back or something like that, and they just
They had no
had
reason
fun.
not to do it, I guess. So
Yeah, exactly.
in hindsight, maybe
Also-
they did, but
Yeah. Another thing too is, I think at the time Christmas specials were a little bit more like that, like these weird, just weird, like like Muppet Christmas special stuff, and like just I feel like they don't have that in the same way nowadays.
it's true. Yeah, it's not quite the same. It's not like here.
it's
These
more
are those
polished.
characters you love doing weird, crazy things.
Yeah,
It's
it was
got,
almost like a staff Christmas party, recorded with,
Oh my God.
but like your staff consists of like a Wookiee and
Yeah.
some Ewoks or whatever.
Some VR lady.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, gee whiz. It's kind of like that sort of stuff is kind of like the ET game, but for videos. It's like the sort of things where it's like, I have to experience this because it's so horrible.
Yeah.
Do you have a least favorite game, or a game that's so bad that you love it?
Game that's so bad that I love it. Not really. Like I tend to pre-filter because I don't play that many games. I kind of filter a lot of them out. There's definitely a lot of parts of games that are so bad uh, that they're interesting. Like a lot of really bad cutscenes,
Mm.
bad facial animations. Um, uh, what am I thinking of? Oh, there's do you know Omicron?
I haven't played it.
Yeah, it's by the people. They went on to do Heavy Rain and Fahrenheit or
Mhm.
whatever it's called. Um, anyways, they're like right off the bat, it breaks the fourth wall,
Oh,
and the character is like, you know, we need you, like pointing at the camera, like your soul needs to like come into the computer or something, like some
oh,
weird thing of like, um, you get like you're like changing souls with the the
the
character or
oh,
something. But
really?
anyways, like uh it's kind of cute at the time. Like it's bad. Um,
Like the graphics are bad,
yeah,
kind of
but
bad.
yeah, it was like it was good graphics at the time and stuff like that. But now it's like it's really cheesy in terms of like souls and breaking the fourth wall and all this sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I love it.
That's
Like
awesome. It's a
it got me. Like it hooked me. I was like, yeah, you're talking to me.
woo.
I'm in the game.
When the fourth wall breaking stuff is done right, it's
Yeah.
awesome. It
Yeah,
really
totally.
is.
Totally.
It's super
Absolutely.
cool. I have not yet watched Deadpool the movie, but
Yeah.
I'm hoping that cool stuff happens, that they did that right, because that's one of the things
Mm.
his character is kind of known for, is breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah. So I was pretty sort of into Deadpool as a character when I was younger.
Uh huh.
Um and the way that I read his character is totally different than this movie.
Uh huh.
And that may have just been my interpretation. Like I thought of him more as like really really dark and badass. Like, he would just say something like really um like humorous, but like it's really dark because he just like totally murdered these guys and like just really not a good guy or whatever.
Right.
But then like in this one he seems like hey, how's it going? Like he's a jokester Spider-Man cartoon character kind of a
Yeah.
flavor.
Yeah, they definitely seem to have, like, just based on the advertisements and stuff like that, they seem to really be pushing on the humor side of it.
Yeah, totally.
Um, yeah, because everything I've heard of is he's not a good guy. Like, he's not a
Yeah.
good guy.
Yeah, I mean
He's
his name's
kind of, he's
Deadpool.
kind of Deadpool. Yes.
He's a really nice guy, though. Once you get to know him,
Right. Oh,
and he doesn't
jeez.
murder you.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. No, they do that with everything, though.
Yeah.
As far as like movies and remakes and like doing things
Mm,
based off of other characters from the past, like the
mm.
new Ghostbusters movie.
Yep.
We could probably start like upsetting people on the internet very easily
Yeah.
by talking about that too much, but I was like crazy upset
Yeah.
by the trailer. Have you
Yeah.
seen the trailer for
I have.
it?
Yeah.
What did you think?
Uh, I mean, there's good stuff and there's not so good stuff. Um, I actually liked the music
Mm.
a fair bit. Just like the the sort of remix of that classic.
The Neo Ghostbusters theme.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Just because like I'm just ready for that. I like Ghostbusters. Um,
Yeah.
but we'll see how
Yeah.
how the whole thing goes.
Yeah, to me, it felt like the humor was totally the wrong kind of humor.
Hmm.
Like, based off of what the old Ghostbusters was like. Calvin was complaining about this too. It was like, this is not Ghostbusters humor. This is just
Yeah,
stupid modern humor. What is this
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
feelings?
yeah.
And I was kind of like, I had no problems with the fact that they decided to cast every Ghostbuster remade as a female. I think that's really cool.
Hmm.
However, the way that they decided to cast the black
Yeah.
woman as
Yeah, I know.
a
Like
what, like a subway
street or
teller,
whatever.
like
Yeah.
why
Yeah.
couldn't she be one of the scientists? What's
Yeah.
wrong with that? White people can be ghetto too.
Yeah.
Let's include those white people in the ghetto-ness.
Totally.
Let's give the whites their time to shine. I don't know. It just felt like, I don't know. They were trying too hard to do something,
Yeah, I know.
and it made me
I know.
angry. I don't know.
Especially when it seemed like they were like leading up to the trailer. It was like, we're doing a really modern take that is, very progressive and stuff like that.
Progressive. Yeah. That's part of their problem, is they set themselves up for it.
Yeah, exactly.
They really
exactly.
did.
Mhm.
Yeah. I don't know. It's tough. Have anything else you want to complain about? Because, indie devs, we like, yeah, positive energy. Let's help everybody. Let's say nice things. But the truth is, we have opinions, people.
Yeah.
I have opinions.
The government.
Government. Rah!
Taxes.
Taxes. Rah!
I don't know. I can't complain too much.
Yay. Pretty happy with everything.
Yeah.
Now that you have a baby on the way, how are you feeling about healthcare? Do you have healthcare?
Yeah.
Health insurance?
Well, we're in Toronto here.
Oh, yeah, so you're fine.
We're pretty good in that regard.
Screw you, Canadians.
Yeah. You're based in Seattle?
We aren't, actually. We were
Okay.
going to move to Seattle, but we're actually in New Hampshire right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, kind of close to PAX East, like an hour north.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Interesting. What's that like? Tell me about New Hampshire.
It's really cool, actually. New Hampshire is not a place that most people think of game developers for.
Yeah.
However, there's actually a couple of colleges that are locally teaching game design courses and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we discovered that there's like maybe 10, 20 other game devs in the area.
Cool.
And so we actually made like a little co-working space and are like shouting to the rooftops, being like, "Look, there's game developers in New Hampshire!" So it's kind of
Awesome.
a fun movement to be part of.
Yeah, that's kind of like a great size in that it's big enough that stuff happens, but small enough that you can know everybody.
Yeah.
And be in touch with what is going on.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's opened up a couple of different windows for us. Like,
Yeah.
I have never played Dungeons and Dragons until a couple months ago, because there's like all these other devs who had also never played Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, interesting.
Are like, "Oh, we have to do this," because
Yeah.
have you ever played Dungeons and Dragons?
I haven't played, yes, I have. I played Dungeons and Dragons. I was gonna say the main thing that I played is I have a friend, and he made his own version of I think it was Ravenloft. So, similar like kind of thing, just a different type of world and customized rules and
Gotcha.
all this sort of thing. But we played that it was like one campaign, and it lasted like 6 years or something ridiculous. And like,
That's awesome.
yeah, and it wasn't like we played it all the time or something, but it was just one story line that went for years, and like,
That's cool.
yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, no, it's been a really cool experience, because I was thinking about it, and like, Dungeons and Dragons is what so many games are actually based on. Just like video games
even
in general.
that thing that we were talking about with the classes, like the warrior and the wizard and the Valkyrie and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's where that came from. That's where the idea of like, I guess at least Dungeons and Dragons gets the credit for it. I don't know if there's been many others like from that era that just didn't take off as well, but like they kind of seem to have originated a lot of the mechanics that we actually put into video games, and it's really cool.
Totally.
It's nice to finally get to experience that in a albeit more modern version, because they keep making new editions of Dungeons and Dragons, but it's very cool.
Yeah, one of the first games that I bought for PC was this game called Menzo Berenzan.
Never heard
And
of it.
yeah, it's a very um, niche kind of a thing. So it's like a Dungeons and Dragons game or whatever. So it was like this weird, I guess you'd call it 2.5D, almost like Wolfenstein structure.
Uh-huh.
But are you there?
Yeah. Can you?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it just cut out for a second.
I was just being quiet. Sorry.
Yeah. So it's 2.5D, kind of like Wolfenstein, but where you couldn't even. It would be like you turn, and then you turn 90 degrees, rather than like you turn and you can sort of pan around.
Right. It's like.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like a series of images essentially, but then with like real-time fighting happening. But anyways, it had those same rules, those like Dungeons and Dragons, like, you have your character, they have those like, your charisma, your strength, your agility, all that, and it just sort of calculates that stuff on the fly. So it's interesting to see, like, it was like maybe 10 years later or 15 years later that I actually played Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, that's where all that stuff came from. Like I did it in
Yeah.
reverse,
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely played video games long before I knew about Dungeons and Dragons too. But as soon as you see it and you understand its history, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
of course. Yeah, it's interesting how much it's laid the groundwork for everything that we kind of do, in a sense, for video games.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Check out my glasses, by the way. This cool blue tint.
Oh yeah.
I feel like it makes me look like I'm
Like a super hacker.
like, yeah, or like I'm a cyborg, and like that's the display that I'm
Those are
seeing.
your eyes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like Terminator, in certain scenes it shows like from his point of view, and he's got like this heads-up display,
Yeah.
and it's like, is this person a threat or not, or
Oh
whatever.
yeah.
So like, yeah, so that's totally what I'm seeing, but in blue instead of
Blue is
red.
way cooler. I approve.
Yeah.
That's good.
Me too.
That's awesome.
Sorry for that aside.
No, it's an important observation. That's vital to the show. I approve. No, it's good. Oh man, we've been talking about all kinds of normal things that people talk about as like game devs and things. How about something a little more weird? Do you have any allergies? That's the first question.
I have an allergy to shellfish.
Oh, I remember that. That's right, because we went to
really?
a seafood restaurant, and you were like, "I can't eat this
Well,
stuff."
no, I couldn't eat that because I don't eat. I'm vegan. Like I don't eat any animals or animal products.
Yeah, but you also said you
but
were allergic. I thought.
Yeah. I also have an allergy. So I was. This was like maybe 10 years ago or something. I went to the East Coast, and I had been, at the time I was vegetarian, and I hadn't had any meat or fish or anything for, I don't know, like 5 years or something like that. And I like on a whim at some, like, this was New Brunswick, I guess, went to a restaurant, and I think it was scallops.
Uh-huh.
And then I was violently ill for 3 days or whatever. I had to go to the hospital and get like an IV because I couldn't eat anything.
Oh
But
man.
it was like really actually amazing and worth it nonetheless, because we were staying on this campsite that was on the edge of a cliff. The cliff dropped down maybe 200 feet into the ocean, and whales would go by. So I like set up my air mattress outside, and I was just like laying there, practically in a pool of my own vomit.
Oh.
Not literally, but like almost.
Yeah.
But like whales would go by, and there were seals that would go by, and it was just absolutely amazing. I hadn't seen any like whales, or it was the first time I think the first time that I can think that I actually went to the ocean.
Oh wow.
And so I was just blown away by the beauty of this place.
Yeah, that's
And
really
so
incredible.
it was worth it.
In a sense, maybe because you felt so horrible, you got to experience more of that space than you would have if you felt good.
Yeah, well, I mean, I certainly wouldn't have like lied in that, like lied outside doing nothing but watching nature for all day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I would have like probably you know been on, I don't know if I had a laptop at that point, but like watch TV for 2 hours or whatever, like
Mhm.
oh, I'm just gonna chill out, I'm relaxing, I'm on vacation or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh man. Whales. So
Yeah.
okay, so you were camping on a cliff. So then, did you pee off the cliff? Did that happen?
I think I did. It was pretty treacherous.
Oh yeah.
I think I did, but not at nighttime because
Oh yeah, that's.
there was like it was a cliff, and then there would be like weird like dead trees growing out of the, or not growing, but like
Right.
stuck in the side of the cliff, right? So it's like if you slipped, you would impale yourself and then like
And
get
then
crushed on rocks or drown at the
fall to
like
Oh jeez.
very very unsafe,
No.
but extra beautiful as a result.
Oh yeah, that sounds awesome. And yeah, I've only had a couple of experiences by the ocean and never from like very high up so that you can see out
Yeah.
like that. That sounds
Right.
really awesome.
Yeah, the expanse is quite amazing.
Yeah. It's one of those times I felt at least, and I imagine it must have been something you kind of felt too, where you just feel tiny and insignificant, but in a
Yeah.
beautiful way.
Yes. It's like, thank you. I don't matter. Yeah, absolutely. And then also too, it's like at nighttime you look up at the stars, and it's that same sort of broad expanse as when you're looking at the ocean,
Yeah.
but just with the universe and like, the cosmos.
Yeah, yeah, and they're discovering all kinds of new things about the universe now too, with like
Mhm.
all their cool lenses and stuff, and it's even more like, oh my gosh, we're just this tiny nothing, and it's like massive space, and
Yeah, absolutely.
it's really cool.
Yeah, very Neil deGrasse Tyson type stuff.
Yes, yeah, yeah. If you got the chance to go to Mars, would you? How do
No,
you
I
feel
wouldn't.
about No? You've thought
No.
about it?
Uh, I have thought about it before. It would be cool. The way that I feel about it is that there's stuff that I want to see on Earth that that is more fleeting. Like I love scuba diving,
Ooh.
and that is an alien world to me.
That's how I feel about the ocean
with-
too.
Yeah, and so like, I can go to Mars. Mars is going to be a rock for a long time. There, you might find microbial life or something, which would be like super amazing.
Yeah.
But I know I can find, all sorts of cool, like with scuba diving, like you can interact with certain things that like they're interested in you.
Right.
And
Perhaps
you can't really
too
get that on Mars.
interested.
Perhaps, but
The sharks and things, I don't know. That part's a little scary to me. But
sharks are beautiful. They're harmless mostly.
mostly harmless.
Mostly.
Yeah.
But, like everything has a risk to it, and sharks are a very small risk to the reward of being with this beautiful, sometimes large creature.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, man.
Have you ever done diving or snorkeling or?
I have snorkeled a couple of
Yeah.
times, but nowhere tropical and amazing. So
Yeah.
it's on my list.
On-
It's on my list of things to do.
In the ocean, like the East Coast or West Coast, or
No,
like
it was
lake
it was
snorkeling?
actually in a lake. It wasn't. I mean, it was interesting.
Yeah, it's cool.
But it was definitely not like the, oh my gosh, I'm surrounded by colors.
Yeah.
it was like, oh look, I actually saw a fish. That was kind of
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
the level that it was. But it still felt like I was transported into this whole different world because
Yeah, and
it's
even
just...
the auditory landscape is really interesting, and this is something that it kind of applies to games, I think. Like there's the sort of classic idea that that everything is silent underwater, and that's totally not the case.
Yeah, there's
Especially like there's all these, you know, different sort of low frequency sounds and stuff like that, things moving through the water. But then also if you're in an area where there's, you know, lots of fish or crustaceans and stuff, you'll hear like lots of crackling and you know, like parrotfish or munching on coral, and you can hear that.
Oh,
And,
really?
yeah, and just shrimp just snapping away, kind of like you know how you're hearing crickets in a meadow or something.
Oh, wow. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Ah! Now I really want to go scuba
Yeah.
diving somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds really cool. Because I know that, like, just from like being underwater, that there's definitely like sounds do travel through it.
Yeah.
But like those kinds of sounds, that sounds fascinating.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's so cool. Yeah,
Yep.
if given the opportunity to go deeper in the ocean than any human has ever gone versus going to Mars, I would definitely pick the ocean as well.
Yeah,
For
totally. Like James Cameron style.
Oh yeah.
You know he did that Mariana Trench dive thing. Did you hear about that?
I don't know what happened, but I knew he was going to. I didn't.
Yeah.
I
So he
hadn't
did
paid
it.
attention.
So he's been, I guess he shares the title or whatever with two other people have done it apparently, like 30 years ago or something.
Oh really?
But been to the deepest part of the world.
That's cool.
Yeah, in his custom submarine.
Yeah, well, you can't go without like super stuff around you because the pressure of the water is
Yeah.
so intense. You just go
Yeah.
splat. It's
Yeah,
terrifying.
totally.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like just as unforgiving as the void of space kind of level. Like go outside and you're dead if you know.
Yeah. Also, too, I feel like there is more of a possibility of there being some like ancient sea beast or something at the very bottom of the ocean that like nobody's seen before.
Yeah.
Like-
There's probably
Like
tons
rather
of
than,
life.
you know, to going to outer space to find
at a
that or
rock.
whatever. Yeah.
I mean, there's potentially, if there is life or something like microbial on Mars, it would still be really a massive discovery.
Yeah. Oh,
And it would be-
absolutely.
it potentially could change science and stuff a lot more than finding something at the bottom of the ocean could.
Yep. Yep.
But there's also way more likelihood of you finding something at the bottom of the
Right.
ocean. So
Yeah.
it's
I
a
think
toss-up.
the answer is we need to do both.
I like that. Let's stop all the wars and just go diving,
Hmm.
and then go up
Yeah.
into space.
Yeah. Like, ideally with one kind of ship that can do both.
Ooh.
You know, kind of like Flight of the Navigator.
Although, like, generally, there's such a big concern about how heavy the thing is that you're sending up into space that they make him, like, super flimsy. Whereas,
Yeah.
like, whatever you're putting in the ocean, you're like, just 7 inches of steel, go. You know?
Yeah, well, that is true, but James Cameron's sub was actually pretty small. Like, it's like I'm sure the steel or whatever it was really thick, but the actual physical size of the entire thing fairly small.
Mm.
Just kind of it's smaller than I thought it would be. I don't know what that's based on. Not like I'm some expert in submarine technology or something.
Yeah, I don't know enough about it to know, like, what's impressive or not. Either. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's really cool that he did it, though.
Yeah.
If there
Yeah.
was, like, one thing you could, like, accomplish in that kind of level of extreme, is that kind of what you'd want to do? Would you want to dive really deep?
I think it would be